Oh.
So how about them video games?
How about them cowboy video games?
Today we talk about games.
Video games.
Variety.
They have games and videos now.
Did you know that you can watch videos that are games?
I just bought a new system. It's called 3DIS. You're gonna love it.
I love my 3DIS.
I mean 3DO. This is actually what it was.
Oh, no. Oh, there we go. We got viewers. Good. I was gonna say, don't do this bullshit again.
You don't happen to have a iPhone charger that I could?
You know, I almost brought one downstairs, and I didn't. What are you at?
You know, I don't like to display the percentage.
Okay.
AJ, nothing but a number.
So a little.
I like to approximate.
If you really want one in my office, plugged in on the shelf.
I'll text Mom Brain to bring it down.
She'll like that. Oh my God! Name of Austin is in here. That makes my day. All right, let's do this podcast.
No, we can't start yet.
Why not?
Oh yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
6:45.
3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast. Webisode 601. The Clang podcast.
Oh, that was last week.
We were Clang.
That was just Clang last week.
Now we're Clang. I had this conversation with Kirby to make sure we didn't do this one.
Those clangs are taken over.
Well, since Mom Brain is not here, let me tell you about Clang. Wong Wall Bing Bang. Clang is a Steel-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. It evolves from Clang. It is the final form of Clink. There you go. Clang resembles 4 interlocking gears with 6...
all three evolutions. Say all 3 evolutions fast.
Clang. Clang resembles 4 interlocking gears with 6 teeth on the smaller 2 gears and 8 teeth on the larger gear. The 4th gear on its lower side, and it is on its lower side, and is red topped with a thin spiked rim below it. The red core is used to store energy gained from rotating gears. This energy can be released through the spiked gear at the bottom. The teeth of the smaller gears are a light gray, while their central regions are much darker. The teeth of the larger gear are a medium gray, and its central region is darker. The left eye of the smaller gear is a white X, while its right eye has a black pupil and a white sclera. It has a round green nose and small mouth. The largest gear appears to have a face with a black square for its left eye and a black circle for its right eye and a sharply angled white frown. Dialogue between the 2-faced gears is in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series suggests that both gears are independently sentient or sentient.
That's great that is being considered.
Right? Clang can fire tiny gears at high speeds in a form of gear grind and shift gear. Its signature moves. It is Pokemon number 601. It is, I don't know where she gets this stuff
So
from.
when do we get to stop doing podcasts?
When the Pokemon are done. Where does she read how tall this thing is?
3 feet.
Oh, it's 2 feet tall.
And you can't teach that.
And you can't teach that.
No.
There you go. That's your Pokemon.
Hey.
I did that way better than Mom Brain.
If you swivel that camera around, you just see an art type taking feverish notes.
Yes, there will be a test.
And it's light gray, dark gray, mid gray.
It takes Mom Brain like 5 times as long as.
Well, she's new to doing it. Oh, she's not. Thank you to everybody that joined us on this random Friday podcast. I know it was out of nowhere, and I know I didn't really get time to promote it because I didn't know if I was going to be doing it today or not. But we have to do it. So, hello, Moo Milk. And ST Sick Hero, and Nico Darunia, and Rocket, and Jedbird, and Smarty12, and Froti, and Sir, and Name of Austin, and whoever else I can't see in there. Thank you for joining us today. It's greatly appreciated.
Hi.
We have Kirby.
Hey.
We have R-Type.
How you doing?
Mom Brain is not here. She might be joining us. And then we have a special guest who is joining us. And the special guest is not someone from Nintendo. It's someone that podcast people know. So don't get excited. Not worth the excitement. Hello, the Bionic Asphalt. Hello, Son Goku 420. Son Goku 420. What a weird combination of names. Like Son as in you're my son.
Shouldn't that be
Goku from Dragon Ball?
Shouldn't that just be Gohan?
And then 420. Hello, the Bit Block.
Well, I think that's what he's known as in Japan, right?
Son Goku 420.
No, there's no 420.
Oh my God. Is that how? Oh my God! Is that how they get their powers? Are they just high in that anime? I only watched. I only watched Dragon Ball when I was in high school before going to school in the morning.
Same, and it would wake you up because you're like, this like 4th episode in a row. Like I think he's on his final.
Hello, Inglorious Bastards. Yeah, it's true. I remember that, like week-long episodes of just people going like
Screaming.
"Ah!"
Yeah, pretty much.
And then an explosion, and it's like, that's not my final form.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
I got nothing against Dragon Ball. That's just what I remember it being.
Yeah.
I know there's a new one out now. I think there's a new one out now.
Yeah, it's been on the air for like, what, 30 years?
Dragon Ball in various series over 30
Right.
years. Yeah. I know there was one of them that people really hated. Not the one that's airing now. I think it was the one before that. People were like, this is garbage. Hello, Great Land Stander. Great Land Stander, yes. And hello, Video Game Guru. And Son Goku 420 says maybe that's why he's always hungry. Because he smokes weed all the time. Makes sense. Makes sense. Story checks out.
So how high do you have to get to make like, your hair turn
I
yellow?
want to get-
and stand up? Just like
Hey, PC in the house.
You missed. You were wrong. Do you have any food with you?
No.
we were trying to guess if
Do you have any hugs with
Oh,
you?
I do have hugs.
Well, then
There's your-
Hey, Timmy.
Hi.
There's your mystery person. It's PC. PC's back.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
PC.
Oh, hello.
Hello, hello.
PC literally drove
From Vermont.
from Vermont just for the podcast, and then she's going right home.
Well, that's the surprise. You have to leave.
Yes, I'm telling you, that's what.
Why are these so
You
damp?
have to leave.
Was someone getting very good news on these?
Damn, what are you talking about? Damn.
Or they're cold and they feel like they're
Yes,
damp?
they're cold. They're not
chilly
damp.
down here.
Oh, whatever, man.
It's the same.
Fudge you.
You're the damp one. You've been sitting in a car for 6 hours.
I am
You
a little
slung
sweaty.
mess. You
Yeah.
stood up and then you sat down right in your own mess.
Actually-
More like Everglades.
That one show fun. Who you know is
Nature.
staying with Austin
Yes.
says your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you. We're like the same color, I'm pretty sure, he and I.
Oh, that's true. You guys
Yeah,
have the
we're
same
hair
color
buddies.
Yeah. Yeah, hair buddies. Isn't that great to have hair and you can dye it colors? Yeah, that must be great.
Get a wig, asshole. All right? That's not my problem.
Can I pretend that it's not a wig?
Yes.
Nice wig. I don't know what you're
I
talking
don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
Wig,
Where's Mom Brain?
She is at a work thing, but she
Ugh.
might be joining us.
Stupid work.
Something about trying to avoid you, something like that.
That's a damn lie, and we all know it.
You're
Tell
right.
PC I done died.
I done did.
She's here for 4 days. Yeah, I'll be dead.
I'll
Yeah.
be dead from then until
Temporary death, new thing. It's on WebMD.
It's a new thing.
WebMD. I'm glad you brought that up. So a couple weeks ago, I was sick,
I was there.
and
And WebMD told you had
I was there in
call from
spirit.
Someone I don't know.
You got your
Um,
Snapchat.
So I was sick, and I went on WebMD because I was having this issue that I don't think people normally have when
The
they're
issue
sick.
is
PP was getting hard.
going on WebMD.
I didn't go on
Never do
WebMD.
it.
I just did a general search. I was like, this is a weird symptom. So I had a fever,
Why
but
does my winky go in and not out?
can I take my
something
temperature
buzzing?
with my wiener? It's my phone. So I had a fever, and I know when I'm getting sick with a fever because my ears get hot. It's just the way it always is. But this time,
Uh-oh.
my
Your butt got
arms were hot, like super hot. It looked like I had been in the sun. It looked like I had a sunburn. And I'm like,
Oh my.
am I seeing things? And like, I went into the bathroom, turned the lights on, and I'm like, no, my arms.
I wish someone walked into the.
My arms are bright red. Then Mom Brain
What
came
are
home.
arms?
And I was like, feel my
Have
arms.
I had these the whole time?
And she was like,
These
what's
things on
wrong
the
with your arms? I was like, I don't know. They're on fire. So I searched on Google. I think I'm the only person in the world that's ever had that.
It sounds
How
like
many
it's
times have you gone on the internet and not found an answer for something? No one had this symptom that I could
I'm pretty sure you had a niacin flush from something.
Oh,
That's a thing. That's like, I don't know. Were you taking like cold medicine
I
or
was on
something?
no medicine at the time.
Do you eat a lot of Wonder
Weird.
Bread?
Right?
'Cause I know, like I
Medicine,
had that happen.
I
where all
thought
the
the
blood
same
rushes
thing.
to your skin.
Yeah,
and then you
medicine,
get, like,
I thought
super
maybe the
hot.
medicine would screw with you, but I had the only medicine I had in my body was nasal spray, but I had the red arms before that.
Interesting.
I don't know
Maybe
what it
you're
was.
just too sexy and you're just trying to break free from your form.
Oh my God,
It
SD
could
Sick
have-
Hero. SD Sick Hero's
The
got it.
hotness is trying to
You could have exacerbated it.
No.
You know?
Could
SD Sick
masturbate
Hero
with it.
knows what it is.
What?
Hot flashes.
My palms
Wow.
were so
oh my
red.
God, you're going through menopause.
I'm going through the change.
Thank you for being a friend.
Menopause.
The change means soon you're going to die.
The change means you can no longer carry a child.
That's
in your
called-
womb, and I'm so sorry.
The change from
That's-
man to woman.
That's called the irreversible march towards death.
That's right.
Can't wait
Oh,
till I
that
get
thing's
there.
happening to
Good
my
luck.
body to let me know it's dying.
Good luck with that.
Let me get up in this chat
Just so you know,
room.
you're mortal and you'll turn into mold.
I'm so tired of being alive.
Guys, this is 2 firsts in a podcast for me. one, it's the first time I've ever done a Friday podcast.
Whoa.
Yeah, we
And
haven't
two,
done Friday
it's the
in a
first
while.
time we've ever been on the podcast together.
Whoa.
And it's R-Type's first 3 in a row.
Oh my
That's right.
goodness!
Yeah. Good.
What a glorious
and
day!
I just want to say you're welcome for the rating spike.
That's right.
I do co-host the
It's
number one
a
morning show. in
downward
Arlington.
spike, but it's still a spike.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's right, everybody.
It's a spike of boners.
It's manopause. not
Man,
menopause. All right, let's do some Nintendo news. What happened in the world of
who
Nintendo?
wants to talk about that?
So
I
we're
can tell
like,
you.
we're like a little under 2 weeks away from the Switch releasing to the public
Oh my
worldwide.
god!
And for some reason they said, hey, Europe, you take it. But not really.
Last week we were talking about Splatoon.
Ooh,
Splatoon.
Splatoon.
That's what I'm calling it.
Now this week we have something else to talk about with Splatoon 2.
Splatoon.
Now, if you buy a Switch, let me give you the official date so I don't get it wrong.
A man will come to your house and spill paint. on
March
you.
24th. So if you,
At the most
You
inconvenient
open the box
time.
and it's just like at your face.
if you have a Switch on or before March 24th, you will be able to take part in the Splatoon 2 global test fire. So if you'll remember when the original Splatoon came out, Nintendo did a global test fire. Which they did a few of them, which let people play the game and try it out before they bought it. And it was played online because online's the biggest part of the game. So with Splatoon 2, which doesn't come out for a few months after the Switch, we are getting a Splatoon 2 global test fire. This is 100% free. And if you have a Switch, you just download the demo or whatever you want to call it, and then you can hop in a global test fire. So it starts... whatever date I said. It starts the 24th and it goes to the 26th. And just like the first global test fire, there are specific times when you can play, when they are activating the servers and you'll be able to hop on there and play with different people. It will have 4 different main weapons for you to try out, including the new Splat Dualies, as well as remix versions of the iconic Splat Roller and the Splat Charger.
Splat dualies. That's what I call making 2.
I've never heard you say that. Also, if you want to know, Splatoon 2 will be compatible with the amiibo from the first game, so another reason to either pick those up or hold on to ones that you have.
I have 7 of them. Too many?
That's it. We're
Guys,
leaving
I'm
it at the
so
global
happy to
test
be here
fire.
right now.
Oh,
It's
we're
so
happy.
it's such
Instead
a
of
shame.
in a car.
Yeah,
on
we're
Route
in
95
Vermont.
on Route
It's such a shame
95.
you have to leave right
No,
now.
not.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah. Your time's dwindling. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's either when the podcast is over
time.
or 5 minutes, whichever comes first.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. I made pretty decent time. I left at like 1:30.
Chosen One Knuckles
Usually it takes like
says,
6 hours.
Yeah,
sweet
Burlington's up
news. It'll be something
Might as
to
well
break
be
up my
Canada,
Zelda play sessions until April rolls around. Yeah,
Fun that place.
Fun that place.
the global
Fun
test fire
time.
for the first Splatoon was a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
actually,
What?
I'm sorry, not you.
Hello.
Name of Austin.
Yes.
Myself and Name of Austin were in a press test event for Splatoon. And we
Together?
were playing it together online.
Like
and we
in
were
person, you saw it?
We were texting each other, and that's how we came up with the infamous Splatoon. I don't know what we called it. We made a song. So there's a room where you sit in to get online, and when we were waiting for people to join, because we were only waiting for press members, so there's a pool of like 50 people. Sometimes you were in there for a long time, and there's a song that constantly loops. And there's a voice in the song, but it's not speaking English and it's not speaking Japanese. It's speaking Splatoon, whatever it is. And we started to make lyrics to that song, and we wrote the lyrics to each other through text messaging. And then he put together a lovely music video for that. So if you go to That One Show Fun on YouTube, and search Splatoon, you'll be able to see the weird song that we did.
Please sing it for us.
It's amazing.
At least one bar. Please.
Please.
I can't remember.
I drove all this
either.
way for this.
Only a stanza.
Something about like dub pop and go on. You got a phone. Look on his
I'm
YouTube
in
channel.
the chat.
They don't care about you.
FG Sekiro is asking me how
It's
I
true.
am.
Steister says he misses you.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
Just so you
So-
know.
Yeah. Fuel that
On
ego.
I got Everglade butt.
It's a beautiful.
Here you go.
beautiful
That One
misty
Show
butt.
Fun says one of the lyrics is "The girl needs dub pop." Japanese dub pop. But again, the lyrics are what we thought the voice was saying, what it sounded like to
I like
us.
it. I like
Please go check out that video.
interpretive.
It's one of the
transliteration.
It's probably the thing I'm most proud of that I've ever done.
Ever?
In relation to my work on Go and
You
Zelda.
called me after a deuce last week. Are you sure it beat that?
That's true.
Internet. Most real life, no, it doesn't mean it.
Oh,
Internet,
okay. All
yes.
right. Yes. Okay.
All right. So there is this franchise called The Legend of Zelda, and it's had a few entries in it, like.
Tell me more. Minish Cap.
Yes, and
I'm sorry, what was the question?
any Zelda franchise.
Majora's Mask.
All right, you're done.
It's already.
I don't know.
Any Zelda entry in the
Labia
franchise.
Majora's Mask.
Twilight Princess.
It's a cup for girls.
There you go.
Labia Majora's Mask.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a joke that's been around for quite a long
I'm not
time.
original. I'm just gross.
No, it's funny. Enjoy it.
Pictures of vagina.
That's what that game's about. You've never played Majora's
Oh,
Mask.
it's
It's
the-
about
It
marrying a
scares me
vagina.
that
The
is that
hand
why the
moon.
moon's so important? Because of your moon's blood?
Moon's blood.
Oh
See,
my
you get
god,
it.
it's all making sense.
Listen,
You get it.
Link to the Past. I just had to get that in there.
I'm glad you said that one because on the 3DS there was a Link Between Worlds, which played much like a Link to the Past. Took place basically in the same part of.
When you get a franchise entry that's a throwback to an earlier franchise entry, you know that's legendary.
I thought you were going to say, I'm into it.
that's Legend
Well,
of Zelda.
I mean, that's obviously why.
And
I
then,
made
and then
that
there was
movie.
also
Legend.
there was also Triforce Heroes, which was on the 3DS, which was a spin-off, a multiplayer Zelda game. And according to an interview in Zelda Art and Artifacts, which is a book that is available now, soon available,
It's quite a tome.
they talked about how the two games almost swapped the links that were in them. This is designer Yoshiki Haruhana, and he says, since it was for the 3DS, some felt it should be Toon Link since it's a title for a portable game system, but others said that this was a sequel to A Link to the Past, so it should be regular Link. We had a long debate over it, so he's talking about A Link Between Worlds, and he says, since A Link to the Past was the original, it only made sense to go in that direction, and since it's been 22 years since the previous title, the expectation about the art style became what it is. I found myself thinking that Zelda series certainly has a bit of everything, which keeps it interesting. So they almost went with the Toon Link design for A Link Between Worlds, but they said this is related to A Link to the Past, so we should go with a Link that looks like Link in A Link to the Past.
Well, then they
Wow.
should have made his hair pink.
Why is
Yeah, right.
why is the first Game Boy entry escaping me? What is it called?
I know. Do you
It's
want
a
people
giant-
to tell you
it's a
the
giant-
answer, or do you
it's a
want to try and
giant
guess
egg.
it?
It's a giant egg.
Legend of Zelda
Link and the giant egg.
in vitro fertilization.
Link in the embryo.
Link in the
Link in the
Yoshi egg.
embryo.
Busting out. Busting out.
Do you want me?
Colon
Please just tell me.
implantation.
It's really what I'd like.
The kids today would call it The Legend of Zelda Woke.
Link's Awakening.
There you go. There you go. You got it.
That is a great song. though.
Link's
Got really
Awakening
into
or
Black Lives
Link's
Matter,
Awakening
just
DX, whichever
got it
one you
together.
want. DX, not related to the
The
Legend of
wrestling
Zelda.
stable.
Link
wrestling
woke.
stable. Thank you for saying stable.
I know what a group
It's almost
of
like you
muscular
watch
men is
wrestling.
called.
When's the opponent spin-off coming up?
There's a murder of crows and there's a stable of hunks. It's just how it goes.
Stable of punks.
Cloud Mario says, I think they made the right call. I love Toon Link, but the art style looked better this way. I also think they made the right call. I enjoy both styles, but for this game, yes, I think it made
I
more
like
sense
Hunky
with
Ocarina Link.
Hunkarina.
Hunkarina of mine.
Fine.
Those both work.
Nintendo's
Hunkarina
Shinya
of mine
Takahashi
/ fine.
and Yoshiaki Koizumi
Not
talked
bad.
about the Switch and a whole bunch of other stuff, but they said there's more third-party Switch reveals coming soon. So if you want to know more about third-party games coming to the Switch, they say, hang on, it's coming. You know when it's probably coming? E3.
It's coming.
Because E3's in
Right.
June
It's
and
between
we're almost
30
in
and
March.
80 seconds.
So, hold on to your horses. More stuff is coming. They also talk about how the mobile connection is important because, as you know, you use the app on your cell phone to do things online on the Switch. As far as we know, voice chat and stuff like that. And you can also do parental controls on your phone. So if little Johnny's trying to get, what was the name of that guy from UFC, the little kid?
Joshy.
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 So if little Joshy's trying to get on there and play the Switch and you don't want him to, you can control the parental
Joshy.
details on your phone and send it to the system. Then they talk about the 3DS. They say we're supporting 3DS. More stuff is coming. They're supporting it into 2018. They didn't say they're stopping in 2018. They just said we have stuff lined up to 2018. Oh my
Oh,
goodness
yeah.
gracious. This is a very huge comment.
That's some wild breath you got there.
Don't
Blade Master said
don't read. Reading's awful. Who needs it?
they're getting into the conversation about phones. I'll leave that. I'll leave that be. I'll leave
Okay.
it.
Leave it be. Leave it be.
You're wearing your
That's
captain's
awesome.
hat.
Rami,
It's,
leave it
it's so
be.
beautiful to look at you.
Alright, leave
Well,
it
now that I'm
be.
doing those videos every day.
His adoring fans
I'm out
want
to see
the full
every
raw meat
day.
experience.
We have some more talk about Splatoon
Stripper
2
angle.
from producer Hisashi Nogami. They're saying, like, why didn't you just do, like, Splatoon Plus? Why are you doing a sequel? And he's like, because we wanted to start from the beginning and rework everything and offer a whole bunch of new content. And we wanted a proper sequel, so that's why we're doing it.
It's like an origin story.
This one takes place 2 years after the last
Oh.
Splatoon.
Ooh,
I never even
And
knew
they
the
want you to
first
know
one.
how
The
novel.
Inklings in this game
Are sexy.
are now 16 years old,
Oh, so they're almost legal.
but the ones you play as in this game are still 14 as they were in the previous game.
How are
So,
dudes going to
Very
do it to
important.
that?
Very important to
It
the
sounded
game.
like math. I'm gonna ask you
I'm
to leave
done.
that out
I'm
of the
done.
next
I'm done.
sentence.
No
How are
more.
you going to rule 34
Am I allowed to
this?
say Splatoon 2?
Splatoon. Please
Splatoon.
say that.
Sorry.
All right.
I don't know. I thought it was a cat. I was like, what am I kicking?
Talking about different weapon combinations. There's going to be new hairstyles and new different outfits and all that jazz. New. They talk about the controls. So obviously you can use the Joy-Cons. You can also use the Switch Pro controller, but that
Throw
is
in your
sold
garbage.
separately. And you can play it in portable mode as well. They want you to know all that stuff. And there is motion controls if you want to do motion controls, because some people played the first one motion controls and some people played the first one not motion controls. But you can do motion controls if you want. The game will have voice chat, so if you want to yell terrible things at your friends when you play, you can
I
do
know I
that.
do.
Yeah.
And now they'll be able to hear you instead of you just yelling at the TV.
I know I do, you jerk.
Damn.
A close up, you jerk.
And they are asked, does the game use HD Rumble? And they say, yes, indeed, it
This is
uses
a
HD
close
Rumble. Because they say HD Rumble is capable of expressing feelings.
Oh.
And they're putting a lot of effort into it to add in tactile sensations.
Probably some feelings of
for
arousal. if People
Splatoon
put that in
2.
the wrong spot.
I'm sorry, for Splatoon. Wasn't even
Splatoon.
here to hear it.
I know. He heard it in spirit, I think.
T27 Duck has a top-rated comment. And he says, but why do we have to use a phone? Why can't this standard feature on other systems be built into the system? Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, question mark, exclamation point. There you go.
I feel like the worst game developer ever, because if somebody was like asking me a Q&A and they were trying to ask me like snarky questions about my game's development, I'm like, why don't you do it? And then that would just be the end of the
You make
interview.
the game.
Well,
Can
listen,
you do this?
This is what it is. When people don't know all the details or something is different than what other people do, it's bad. You can't wait until all the details to know if it's bad. You have to say it's bad now. And if it's different from what other people do, then it's bad.
It's so bad.
Wait for more information, then decide if it's bad or not. No, it's bad now.
It's bad now. It's all bad.
That's right. Europe this week's uploads to the Wii U and 3DS, according to Nikki Hill. Europe got Tank Troopers. This is coming from some company and Nintendo. I forget what company it is, but it is a Nintendo title. Attention! Assemble your own colorful crew. Hop inside a range of specialized tanks and roll into crazy tank warfare for up to 6 players in Tank Troopers. Operate more than 30 different tanks with intuitive controls and slog it out with enemies in a number of expansive maps, complete with destructible environments. Perch on a faraway hill and aim through the periscope to expertly place your shots or face your enemies head-on
Perch on
with
the hill
a
to be
frontal
weirdo.
assault. Also available is Dragon Ball Fusions. It's a Dragon Ball kind of day.
Oh, weird.
Finally available in Europe. Special offers and a whole bunch of stuff. The 3DS theme shop has been updated with 2 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild themes. You can have your 3DS display the open world theme, or you can use the new adventure theme. These themes are paid themes. They are not free. So if you want them on your system,
they are paid themes.
you will have to spend
They're not
the equivalent
complimentary
of
themes.
$2.
And the price for these themes is $2 per theme.
And the price for these free themes is not free. IC Red is available on the Wii U. A whole bunch of special deals there. What is IC Red? In IC Red, you travel along an endless tunnel dodging oncoming obstacles. Turn left or right quickly to avoid getting hit, earning points along the way. Share your progress with family and friends to see who can achieve the highest score. Endless fun for everyone.
Endless fun for everyone.
Is that a requirement? Do you have to have fun, and do you have to share it with family and friends?
I never have fun, and I hate my family. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if all your family and friends are
Wait,
dead?
What was the name of that weird?
We're not selling this to elderly people.
UHF.
Mandatory fun or something?
What?
Yes, mandatory fun.
They had 2 movies?
All right, I have to go wash my
No,
hands.
it's an L.
First comment comes from Nintendo 2 Company. Says, dreadful week for Wii U again. Nothing great in the offers either. Unfortunately, oh well, there's always next week. That's the attitude, my friend. Next week, where things will be worse. So GDC is right around the corner. GDC stands for
Goddamn children.
Game. Yes, I'm going with that.
the Goddamn Children Conference is happening.
Can we do something about these goddamn children?
And on March 1st, 3 developers behind the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are going to be hosting a panel. So this is March 1st, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I'm going to guess that's
30 seconds.
Pacific
I said wash my
time.
hands.
That's 30. You gotta do it for 30 seconds.
So,
at least. That's 8 seconds.
You think happy birthday twice.
Let's see. Let's say who's
You
going
have
to
worked
be
in a
there.
restaurant before.
Nope, we talked about it on air.
They don't.
That's fine.
So when is
I
this?
do
March
that- I
1st.
do
This
that
is
all
2
the
days
time.
before Breath of the Wild comes out. So you'll get a developers panel at Goddamn Children if you're interested. So that's pretty exciting. It's nice to see that kind of stuff from Nintendo. We don't get it all that often. First comment comes from Cow, and Cow says,
Move.
Cows can use internet.
K-A-O.
Cow. Like a
They say,
cow.
first time I miss a goddamn children in years. And this is what Nintendo goes and does.
Catching on.
Goddamn children. Oh, that's how I'm going to call it from now on. Definitely. That's too good not to use.
Goddamn children ruin everything.
Children are the worst. I mean, they're
Am I
great.
the one out of touch? No.
No, the children.
The
are
It's the children.
I do that.
They're always
all
coming
the
out of your
time at
Majora's
work.
Mask.
All right, so we had like a major leak of information this week, and it came from somebody who was just like, well, screw it. Here's a whole bunch of
Major
information.
leak, oh no.
It comes from
Majority
the
of
information
plastic.
that they leaked is about the
Right.
Switch, and it comes from July. So this information isn't the most up to date, but it still has a lot of things that pertain to the system as of now. And this was big news a couple days ago until somebody got the Switch early from a retailer and showed us a whole bunch of stuff. But if you want like a detailed breakdown of specs that were in the system as of July, you can get all that. They talk about, I mean, like it's stuff that we don't even need to talk about now because somebody showed us it in an early retail unit. So
56K modem.
yeah, Nintendo decided to go backwards. We have voice chat this time, but with a 56K modem.
baby.
Question. So can I play the original ice hockey online
That is the only game you care about.
You
Will
play
Nintendo
real life
release?
ice hockey.
right now?
Can you play it right now?
No. I want you to qualify your hurtful statement.
I cannot. I
And
cannot.
I demand an
I want to
apology.
play Breath of the Wild real hard,
Breasts of the
But when that
I wanna
it gets
play
too
with Breath
intense,
of
I
the
want to
Wild.
break with ice
and
hockey.
that has nothing to do with Zelda.
Here's what I can tell you about ice
I
hockey.
like to find women in the woods.
I have no idea if ice hockey is going to come out on the Switch's Virtual Console. We know the
What
Switch will
about
have a Virtual
GameCube games?
Console. I can't tell you that either. I can tell you that Nintendo is open to the idea, and it seems like they're toying with the idea, but I can't tell you for sure.
Toying.
And if ice hockey does come out on the Switch, I can't tell you if it's going to have online play for sure.
Toying with
Will there be online play in any sort of definitive form for any what you could call virtual console games?
Yes, NES games and Super Nintendo games are going to have online added to them. All of them, no. Some of them, yes.
Which ones do you think would be like locks? For
Well,
that?
let's guess here. What would make sense? Super Mario Kart makes sense to me for online play.
Makes sense to our type,
Um,
not our type.
I'm trying to think of like first party games that would make sense for maybe like a Super Mario World where your second player is somewhere across the world.
making friends.
Maybe an F-Zero.
I would play. I would play as Yoshi.
You would.
Right.
Please sit on me and punch my neck.
So yeah, I don't.
Please donkey punch me across the
I
mushroom.
don't know. I don't know what games are going to have online, but some will. We also heard a rumor this week that Nintendo was ending the production of the NES Classic Edition. This was according to a Nordic retailer, but
Nordic.
somewhere some branch of Nintendo came out and said this isn't true, but we don't know if it's not true like worldwide
Ending
or not
production.
true in Nordic regions.
I wouldn't have unboxed mine in that case.
So
Oh my God.
here's the
Well,
thing:
you blew
if
it.
you want an NES Classic Edition, get one
Straight
while
to
you
port
can
now.
because we don't know how much longer they're still going to be
It's my
around.
nest
So
egg.
we're getting mixed messages from all over the
Yes,
place.
egg.
Hello, Court Jester.
Nest egg.
This is why me and our type can't do the podcast together.
Kamikaze
Our
has
own
the first
spin-off
comment,
show.
and Kamikaze says, "Seems like Nintendo hates money."
Sexual innuendo podcast with our type and PC.
Sexual innuendo.
Sexual and Nintendo.
Oh,
Nintendo.
I like it.
NES egg.
NES thing. That's our NES thing.
So Shigeru Miyamoto sat down with Time Magazine to do an interview about a whole bunch of different things.
That's great.
And in the interview, he talked about how much Iwata was
How
involved.
many questions you kept asking him?
How many more questions are there going to be? He talked about how much Iwata was involved with the Switch.
Session? I thought it was an interview.
Because obviously, you know, Iwata was involved with the Switch before he passed away. So this is the last system that Iwata will have been involved with.
I know. It's
So-
like a good taste.
Let me read this one specific blurb. He says, Mr. Iwata and Mr. Takeda, as well as myself, provided feedback and made decisions for the Switch, but ultimately Mr. Iwata was the head of development, so I put a lot of thought and time into the Switch. I think the idea of the Switch being a device you can take out anywhere, and the idea of it being a system that really allows networking and communication with people, I think that's something Mr. Iwata put a lot of emphasis on. Because Mr. Iwata was tech savvy, a lot of our discussion involved trying to figure out how to make the technical things like network capabilities or servers or whatever fun. That's something Mr. Iwata and I discussed a lot, really trying to decide what to do and what not to do in our hardware. And sadly, Mr. Iwata
In their
is
hardware?
no longer with us. Yes, go ahead. Make a rude comment about a dead man.
I said in
Go
their
for it.
hardware because it came from their
You're
heart.
talking about heart as in penises.
Heart with a T, like the thing that keeps you
Yes,
alive.
H-E-A-R-D, hard.
Heart. I am rock hard
I
for
love
you,
you
baby.
from the bottom of my heart.
Mr. Miyamoto also talks about virtual
See?
reality on the Switch, and he says it's possible. They just don't know if they're definitely going to do it because he says there's this whole thing about VR and playing it for a long time, and you can't really play it for a long time. And he's worried about like people just sitting there watching each other play VR, and that's not very fun. He says so. They're looking into different things, and he also talks about where he would like to be 10 years from now and things he wants to do in the industry in the next 10 years. Blah 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 blah. So check out that full interview. First comment comes from, whoops.
I just want a Shy Guy game where I'm the shy guy, you know, and I can.
Where are you?
Take
Just
up
in like
Mario.
socially awkward situations where you sit in
Is
the corner
there a
with your
game
little
where you
mask
play
on?
as a
No, I mean,
shy
you know,
guy?
the-
I need the collective power of the internet, the people watching this right now. Is
Is
there a
there-
game where you can play as a shy guy?
Help us.
Oh, maybe in like a Mario Party or something, right?
Technically, you can be one in like Mario Baseball because they're on your
Wow.
team,
There
but
you
that's
go.
about
That counts.
it.
That counts.
I-
Solved.
You were- my friend.
there.
I
You
was
were
there. I was there. You were there, and you were there,
Yeah.
and you were there.
And it was a different
Rat
season.
Mastered 21 says more evidence of Iwata's huge impact on Nintendo as a company. He was such a hands-on leader and a hard worker, and it pains me when people say horrible things about him. I hope the Switch sells like the Wii did, just so that he can have one last victory in a career full of them. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. How nice it would be if the Switch was a big success.
I'll buy it.
Just because it's Iwata's, it's the last hardware we're gonna get that Iwata had hands-on with.
Yeah,
So
come on, guys.
Has
Do
he
it
announced
for a
retirement?
while.
Is that what that means?
he's dead, which was also said during
God
this podcast.
damn it!
That's what the whole hard conversation was about.
I'm retiring. I'm sorry.
Like dead retire.
I'm retiring from life. I'm done. Bye.
R-Type would like to
I'm dead.
Somebody-
file an
I'm
official
dead now.
apology. Seriously.
Somebody needs to go back and count how many times I mentioned him being dead
Go
or
back
him having
and
passed away.
slap.
That's a
During
job
that
for the
segment.
retro
He was
GN
talking
pod.
to PC the whole time.
That's true.
Are there
But she
hashtags
heard,
already out there?
I heard
you
it.
remembered he was dead. Or,
Well, I
Or is
mean,
this
I was there.
R-Type? Is
I
that
was
out
there when
there
it happened.
already? Is that trending?
no, you're okay so far.
R-Type
But
is a
there is
failure.
lag between chat and streaming, so I'll let you know what happens.
I thought you
So-
were going to say, I'll fix it in post.
well, it happened for people that are watching right
Say
now.
that
No
now.
post.
That's part of my job.
Nintendo. I did a talking points video this week, which is about ARMS, one of the games coming up on the Switch, coming from Nintendo, and I talked about how Nintendo's trying to make the game into an esport, and I wanted to talk about if I think that's possible, and also talk to you guys and see if you think it's possible for it to be a successful esport. Some guy says, not sure, but Ribbon Girl's a babe, and I want her in Smash Brothers. Haha.
Wait, if Smash Brothers should be an esport?
Which girl now?
Boy.
I miss
Boy, I
Ari.
missed having you guys on the podcast.
Listen, shut your beautiful mouth.
I like how
and
you're
just
sitting
tell
at the table and the only thing to do is listen to the podcast and you're like, wait, what's going on?
Listen.
ARMS, the new game
Oh,
ARMS for the
okay.
Switch.
ARMS.
Somebody
How many
wants
do
one of
you
the
have?
characters from ARMS, Ribbon Girl, to be in Smash Bros.
I
Because they say
see.
she is a babe. Haha.
But what were they trying to make an esport?
Haha. Nintendo wants ARMS
company.
Okay,
to be
that's-
an
I just wanted to
esport.
It
double
is a
check.
company.
What
I think
other
so.
possible answer would there be?
I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
The only game I mentioned was ARMS.
I didn't hear the game, and then someone said something about Super Smash Brothers, and my brain done got confused.
Hey, PC.
Hey, Rami.
Nintendo is preparing downloadable content for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Hey, Hey, I'm RMC, and I'm a jerkwad.
That's not what I sound like.
PC, you even listen to the words I'm saying.
So this week, Nintendo announced that they're doing DLC for The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. They're calling it the expansion pass. So some of this content comes out launch day, which is March 3rd. Then some more of it comes out this summer. Then the last bit comes out in holiday 2017. So it's all this year. What's in the expansion pass? Let's talk about it.
Ribbon arms.
All right. So the expansion pass costs $20. That's your only option. You have to spend $20 to get all of it. You can't. It's not a piecemeal situation. You can't pick and choose what you want. So immediately upon purchase of this DLC, you're going to get 3 new treasure chests that appear in the game's Great Plateau area.
Ooh.
One treasure chest has a special shirt that has a Switch logo on it, and Link can wear that.
Like a special mesh shirt.
The other 2 treasure chests have
I had a Mount Airy
useful
Lodge mesh shirt one
items.
time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Why?
How did that happen?
I don't know.
The first content pack
Have you
includes
briefly cloaked
I was very young.
it includes the Cave of Trials
I was
challenge,
a child.
a new hard mode,
Like how
and
big are
a
the holes? Sorry, I'm curious.
Sorry.
I
So
mean,
you don't even know them.
certain anatomical parts could have made an appearance.
Okay.
Your nips is what you say.
That's all I
And
needed
we're
to know.
what else would fit through holes in a mesh shirt? It's got to be nipples.
Like the
Moles?
teeniest dinky.
I don't
The
know.
teeniest thing in a shirt.
Goiter?
It's-
A goiter?
Where the hell is your dick that is sticking out through your
A
shirt?
You
mole,
wear it
a
as
goiter,
pants.
It's in a really long shirt.
a growth,
It's like a-
tumor.
It's like a girl's
Did I
sleepover
say
shirt.
mole already?
Molly,
So many
Molly.
moles, some hairs.
Mm.
Those count.
Mole.
All right. The first content pack includes the Cave of Trials challenge, a new hard mode, and a new feature for the in-game map. Then Holiday 2017 is the biggest part of the DLC. It includes new challenges that will let the players explore a new dungeon, and it also features a new original story. So again, this is $20. It comes out 3 different times during the year. The first part coming out at launch, and you can't break up the DLC. You have to buy it all as one thing.
So that's $20 for an esport, right? That's what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Legend of Zelda is going esport. Top-rated comment comes from Mario Cheated, and he has a screen from Link's Awakening with the shopkeep. And the shopkeep is saying, I wasn't kidding when I said pay. So, yeah, this is a new thing for Nintendo as far as Zelda goes. A mainline Zelda entry that's going to have DLC in it that is paid. Getting new content is always a great thing. Extending the life of a
Bless
game is a
you.
great thing as well, but people are
Subway
trying to
things.
decide if they should be angry or not about having to pay for it.
I
So
kind of assumed everyone would just decide to be angry.
it's the internet, so everybody's
Right.
angry. Yeah.
Everyone's so angry on the internet.
They go there for
That's why I
Also,
look at puppies.
If you like 2D Zelda games, like A Link to the Past,
like R-Type likes.
Nintendo wants you to know that just because the Switch is coming out and they're making Breath of the Wild, which is a 3D Zelda, they're saying that doesn't mean we're not doing 2D Zeldas. Mr. Al Newman specifically says he's challenging the 3DS team right now, and he says, I want them to make a more evolved 2D style approach to the Zelda game. So he says, I like Zelda games in 2D just as much as I do 3D, but I want our developers to expand what the 2D Zelda universe can do.
I thought that's what A Link Between Worlds was about.
Well, yes, but now we have to go beyond that. Always.
They have
We'll
to
have to
evolve.
switch it up.
Always moving forward. So he doesn't
Switch it
officially
up.
say that they're doing a
Switch
2D
it up.
Zelda, but he does say that they like 2D Zelda. They're not doing away with 2D Zelda just because of the system, and they're currently tasking their developers with coming up ideas on how to expand upon a 2D Zelda game. So if you're a 2D fan,
2.5
excited.
dimensions.
well, that was kind
How
of
does it even work?
that's A Link Between Worlds.
I can't give up my trade secrets.
That's so
Immediate
smart.
Muffin says that's
Mostly 'cause
great.
I haven't
Immediate
thought
muffin?
Immediate Muffin.
Oh, I
He
wish that was
says
a real thing.
that's great. I love the Link Between Worlds. Unfortunately, I get the feeling they won't allow a new 2D Zelda unless it has a new gimmick, which can be hit and miss looming at the recent top-down Zelda games.
In the chat, Rocket just said expand Dong Pass. And I don't know what it means, but I like it.
Well, we were talking about Zelda's DLC, which is called the Expansion Pass.
Well, I knew that, but I
And
didn't know what
apparently
Dong
he's a fan of it, so it's expanding his dong.
dong. I see.
That's what happens to boys when they get excited.
That happens to me too.
The
Is that
Friday
not wrong?
night cast
That's
has
fine.
a certain sort of tone.
Yeah.
The
it's
Friday
like
night
this.
cast. Saturday.
Saturday mid-afternoon.
Yeah, that'd be,
There's only one person here who can answer this. Gabe Newell runs
Can
what
answer
company?
this.
Oh,
Steam? Valve. Sorry.
Yes, good enough.
Yeah.
I would have gave you the
I
pass.
knew that from Reddit. Suck it.
Steam Valve. Steam Valve.
Big Steam Valve. This is what happens when I've been up since 5 a.m. and then I had to drive in a car
when
for
you're
6
on
hours.
Did you have a show this morning?
So Gabe Newell.
Yeah, I had to work and then come straight
Put
here,
your
and
mouth
my
on
boss.
the valve and suck my man's teeth.
That's what this interview's about.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Gabe Newell from Valve was talking about. He's talking about how he's.
Valve.
Jesus Christ. We haven't had a show like this in a long time.
We're very sorry.
601.
Also
We had 600 good shows. 601 is down. Down to 2.
We were due for a dud.
We've been going too good lately.
We were
We
due
need
for
a
a
dud.
stinker.
Everybody's gonna have one.
Gabe Newell talked
blame
about.
RJ.
So he's talking about Nintendo right now because he wants to
also
take a
blame.
Miyamoto style approach to game development because he's like, look at how well Nintendo and Miyamoto marry their hardware with their games. He says that's what we want to do. So he's getting into talking about a whole bunch of Nintendo stuff, and then he goes into talking about the DS, and he says, I meant to say DS, the DS from years ago. He says, personally, I thought the DS was kind of stupid. I thought Sony was going to crush Nintendo in that generation of handheld devices. I was totally wrong. I hadn't worked on it. I hadn't tried to design any games for it, and clearly the DS ended up the winner. So he's like, look, Nintendo married their hardware with their software, which is why it worked out so well and made so much sense. So he says, I just saw it, and I was like, this looks dumb. PSP is going to have better graphics. That thing's going to win. And then, as you know, that is not how it
the
works.
DS was,
thought that way,
I'd say because of that success, Nintendo took that
Yes.
route to marry hardware and
I will
software.
never forget, except the person's name, which I forget. But I'll never forget someone from Sony saying that the PSP was going to take handheld gaming out of the gutter where it had been for years. And I was like,
Ooh.
you son of a bitch. And you
Those
know
are
what?
fighting words.
Came back to bite them in the ass.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. It
They're
depends
dying in
on
the gutter
it depends
now.
on your
You sure it wasn't
perspective. For
Michael
them, it
Pachter?
was. For them, it was graphics.
Michael
Period. You know what I mean?
That's such a
That's
good
not what it's
story
all
about
about.
Michael Pachter. I know, but for some people, it's not saying that's right or
Do
wrong.
they
That's
even
But
make
that's
handheld
stylish.
things anymore?
That's stylish.
Sony?
Wow.
They have the Vita out right now.
I didn't know if the Vita was still like a current thing or if it was just.
Yeah, games still come out for it. Not
Okay.
not a ton. More so in Japan
I
than
think,
here.
like,
but
One comes out every 3 years or something.
there's a good amount of like
You
indie
throw 'em
content
a
that
bone
comes
every
out.
once in a while?
And in Japan, they have some retail stuff. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
pretty much everywhere outside of Japan. I mean, we still get stuff
like
here, but
Japan.
it's very quiet.
Mhm.
I mean,
Michael Pachter. So
Tell us.
so
Super analyst, Michael
Crash Bandicoot, the
Sounds
Crash
like a
Bandicoot
Michael
trilogy,
Pachter,
whatever. It's getting
James
remade
Cameron.
for PS4.
Right.
I don't remember what it's called. It's like
Well,
the Insane
sit
trilogy
one
or
out.
something.
Sit over here.
I think that's right.
Let's close this.
Sorry.
Just wait for you to.
Sorry, he's
Bye,
distracting
Jack,
me.
So Michael Pachter was on Twitter, and Sony or Activision had tweeted out the release date for that game, or they tweeted out a tease for the release date. So it's a picture of Crash Bandicoot in 4 boxes that had question marks in them. You know, the Crash style boxes, because they were teasing the release date. And Pachter, I'm not quoting him. I don't know exactly what it said. I don't know the specific words, but I know what he meant. He's like, interesting. It looks like this game could be coming to a Nintendo platform. And Activision was like, why are you saying that? And he's like, because these boxes have question marks on them, and that happens in Mario games. And I think Activision just didn't answer him. They're like, how do you cover games? You don't know this stuff. But I don't know if those tweets are still there. You can go see, but rather embarrassing.
Has this story been told recently? It's a classic.
It happened this week.
It's a side story. It's about Crash. I mean Rocket Knight.
Are you going to tell me a story? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
go right ahead.
Well, once upon a time.
But hold on. Before we get into the story, I just want to make sure I'm up to speed. So Michael Pachter is confused about which franchise.
Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, good.
Even I caught that.
So I don't have a story anymore.
Well, what were you going to talk about?
No, we'll get.
Now I really want to hear.
We'll circle around to it. I promise.
Circle back. Circle
will.
back.
When we're done with news,
We will
you're
circle
telling
around.
me
They
a
put the
story.
camera on you for nothing.
Yeah, right.
I know. That's why I was like, well, now it's official. I no longer
Have a
I no
thing.
longer have anything to say.
Well, now that the camera's pointed at me, I know I'm going to be wrong. First comment comes from Immediate Muffin, and he says, I didn't realize I don't know. Whatever. He talks about Wii Sports. That's something else Gabe Newell talks about. We won't get into that.
Wii Sports Golf. Gumby
Hey, go ahead.
Dick. Gumby Dick.
Gumby Dick, yes.
I forgot
I was
about
like, I
Gumby
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Pokemon
what is
Go.
Dick?
When you swing too
Yes.
hard in Wii Sports Golf and it goes.
And the meter bends over. Do you still have Pokemon Go on your phone?
Yes.
Pokemon Go got a big update this week.
I haven't played it.
They have added over 80 new Pokemon from the Johto region.
The internet is wet over Embryon. Can I just say that?
More than 80 Pokemon that were originally discovered in the Johto region in Gold and Silver, as well as Pokemon with gender-specific variations, are now available in Pokemon Go.
Are we assuming
New
Pokemon
evolutions?
genders?
There are now more opportunities to
All
evolve
7 of them?
Pokemon than ever before. New encounter gameplay. When you encounter Pokemon in the wild, don't be surprised if they react in new ways as you're trying to catch them. There's also new berries. Pokemon enjoy eating
Like they
berries.
offer you drugs.
And you'll have the opportunity to get new berries by spinning the photo disc at Pokestops. There's also new
berries.
avatars and expanded wardrobes. So all this content is free because it is a free update. And you can get it right now on iOS and Android.
For free.
Chosen One Knuckles says.
Oh, he said Totodity.
Chosen One Knuckles says, finally, some Generation 2 Pokemon I can actually catch.
Cyndaquil is also.
Yeah.
Look at these little Smurfs.
What was the third starter?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's these other ones.
Cyndaquil was my
What was the third star? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Give me that third starter. Yeah.
I haven't played Pokemon Go in a while. I was like, it was bumping when I was living in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's not July
I was
anymore.
all about it.
Ouch.
But
Ouch.
But now that I've moved to a more populous area where I
like
can
I'm on the
walk
internet.
around and do
I'm
stuff,
sorry.
I think I'm gonna get back into
Sorry,
it.
I
now we
still
also have the Apple Watch app
go on and
too,
catch a
so-
Weedle once in a while. It's fine.
Weedle. Game Informer talked to Mr. Al Newman and Miyamoto about Zelda Breath of the Wild, continuing their month of coverage for the game. And they talk about story. So there's been this discussion for a while now where people say that Miyamoto has said that story isn't important to games, and he wants to clear that up. He says he knows people think that he believes story to be not important, but he says my feelings were misconstrued. He says the story's there to give the game world substance, and it helps guide players in what they should be doing. But he says when a story is too strict, that means the player only has one path to take, and he doesn't want to restrict players like that. And he says there's also the issue where story takes up too much time. And he says you start a game and you get so much story and you just want to play.
FF7 cutscenes.
And he says that they've had trouble with that themselves. And they said that's why Breath of the Wild moves away from that.
Yeah.
You get a couple minutes of story right in the beginning of Breath of the Wild, and then you play, you go. So
I'm so excited to play it. Someone left their sound on
that's Pokemon Go.
or type.
Just see if there's any new pocket monsters around
update it?
here.
They're called
Did I
Magic
update it?
Babies,
I did
and
that
we all
before.
know
I
it.
did that before.
Magic Babies go.
Babies, gotta catch them all.
Mr. L. Newman says he also feels similarly about story, and he says when it comes to Ocarina of Time, it was very important to have a more detailed story because that was how you met the characters. And he says aside from the gameplay itself, Al Newman does believe that story is an important factor. Miyamoto says that in Breath of the Wild, every player has their own story that they can experience. So you go out there and you make your story.
You live your truth.
And again, there is, scripted parts of the story. Some people will miss it and some people will see it depending on where they go and what they do. And again, Al Newman says that how story is implemented is a secret idea he's had for over 20 years now, and he finally got to use it in the game. Yeah, that's it. So that's part of Game Informer's month of coverage for Breath of the Wild. First comment comes from SC Mako, and they say, I've been criticizing Miyamoto recently for his lack of story. That comment about his feeling being misconstrued, plus the face in the picture, made me feel really bad. I'm sorry, Miyamoto. I love you. That's great. That's such a great comment. Yeah, he is making kind of a sad face there. That's true.
Is he?
Yeah, I can show you. Hold
I
on.
must have been thinking of a different picture. Where
Please
he's
show
smiling.
me. I want to know.
I enjoy
It
sadness.
is sad.
I enjoy sad men.
I enjoy people's
There's
sadness.
Miyamoto's face for those watching.
Oh.
There we go. He does look a little downtrodden.
Oh God, that's like that Keanu Reeves meme where he's just sad Keanu.
Oh my God, you should have heard my dad trying to say Keanu last night. He couldn't remember his name.
Keanu.
He could remember the last name, but he couldn't remember the first name. And when he saw the name, he didn't know how to say it.
How did he say it?
I would have to hey tell him so you can hear it because I can't even say
Kano?
how weird he.
Kano
I think
wins.
Kano might have been one of them.
Kano.
But there were like four, and
Isn't that
none of
somebody
them were
from
near
Mortal
right.
Kombat?
Mhm.
Yes.
The Australian jerkwad?
Yes.
The sexy
Very
one.
I played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
Kano.
I
Just
also
saying.
I think in the Mortal Kombat movie, Sonya Blade snaps his neck with her thighs.
I do believe that, and I watched it as like
After
a
he
6-year-old
asked her to
girl,
give
and I
him
was
a
like,
break.
I want to do that.
I've been
Come on,
effed
baby.
up
Give me a
since.
break.
No, the beginning actually of Mortal Kombat is what screwed me up because I definitely watched it when I was too little. But the part where Sonya Blade like cracks his neck with her thighs, I was
Yeah.
like, I want to be that. I want to be that woman.
I want to be.
And then I saw Goro, and I was like, I want to be that guy.
I want to be.
The
I wanna be
amazing
Lady Goro,
puppetry of
who's not
Goro.
a
Man, I love that. I remember seeing that in the movie theater and thinking Goro was awesome, but I also remember seeing Sub-Zero when he shoots the spear out of his hand and it has a mouth and opens up, and I'm like, that's not what it does in the game. My dad was like, "Shut up, nerd."
Well, it's like when
It's like when
Kirby and I went to go see Super Mario Brothers,
Goddamn,
and we're like,
my god,
none of this makes any sense.
I went to see that.
Those
with my
Goombas
parents.
have trench
It was
coats.
both my parents. How old were we when that came out?
That was 93.
I vividly remember walking out of the theater after and turning to my parents and being like, I
Sure,
remember
all
saying
of us
something
were that
along the
age.
lines of, "I'm very
Fuck you
sorry."
guys.
Whoa, whoa,
You can't
whoa! Oh, it's been so long since I actually had to
Dear
edit a
Liz,
podcast.
and that's the turn.
It's this. It's this.
Oh,
This.
Oh my.
All those, your mouth.
No.
See, I can switch into radio mode.
48:55. Can somebody write that down, please?
48:55.
I can't remember the last time I edited a podcast.
last time you do was
48:55.
on the
Yeah. The Dear Wig
Crap, I forgot it
conversation.
already. What was it?
Dear Wiz.
48.
48:55.
Okay.
I also did a
Oops.
talking points video this week about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the DLC, and how people are angry about it. And I talked about how I see some points where people have valid claims of being angry. So check out that video. North America this week's downloads. What did we get on Wii U and 3DS? We got Back to Bed.
Ooh, sounds like the story of my life.
It's a 3D indie puzzle game set in a unique and artistic dream world in which you guide Sleepwalker Bob to the safety of his bed.
Ooh.
Bob from
Don't
Twin Peaks.
from Don't Wake Daddy.
Oh, okay.
From Don't Wake Daddy, yes.
I just like Chad.
The long-awaited continuation of Don't
Oh
Wake
my
Daddy.
god, that game.
Go
That guy
back
was,
to
like,
bed,
beating his
Daddy.
family. We made a game out of
Keep
it.
on sleeping, Daddy.
Back to bed, Daddy.
Wait, is that what happens when Daddy wakes up?
I imagine.
Beats
Why
his
are you
kid?
so nervous about your dad waking up if he's not going to put the fear
I
of
never
God
played
into
that
you?
game.
Dad won't let us eat food.
We actually- Fun
Eat food
story
at
time,
night.
everybody.
Oh, okay.
When I had a sleepover for my birthday in like 3rd grade,
We woke Daddy.
No, we played a live action version of Don't Wake Daddy called Don't Wake Kenny, where we tried not to wake up my stepdad, but kept trying to do crap outside of my parents' bedroom to see if we could wake him up. And
This sounds like a porn.
no, it was not.
Pizza.
No, like we just kept like going and like leaving various objects, and we'd have to like find them in a certain period
Let's
of time.
stab Daddy in the thigh and
Let's
see if he wakes up.
stab Daddy.
That's like a Menendez
Did-
brothers
did-
game. That's a different one.
Did Daddy wake up?
Don't Wake
I
Daddy
don't
with the
believe he
Menendez
actually. You
version.
know what? I think he might have, but that's because we were laughing too loud in the living room.
So the Boxcar Girls won.
We did it.
Also
Me and my
available
ragtag group of
I'm-
gal pals in
I'm
3rd
glad.
grade.
on the Wii U is Ogre Battle 64, the N64 game.
Ogre
On the-
Battle?
Yes.
Ogre Battle.
It's
Yes.
just a
fan.
bunch of Shreks.
Big
Yes.
fan.
Yes.
No, it's
Multiple
a
Shreks.
it's a 3/4 RPG.
New themes this week. We also got the 2 Breath of the Wild themes on 3DS. We also got a Rune Factory 4 theme and a Story of Seasons theme. Also available on Wii U is Wall Ball and Color Cubes.
Guys, can we play wall ball in real life?
No, you
I am
probably
great
can't
at
hurt.
that game.
We don't have any walls on this house.
One time I saw a girl I hated
The
getting hit in the
wall
face
Who's got
by
a
a
racquetball?
wall ball,
You need a
and it was
racquetball
great.
if you're going to play.
I
You
thought you
have
used a
one in your
tennis
car?
ball. Who used a racquetball?
Racquetball's where it's
Serious wall ball players.
Okay,
That's
well, sorry.
Tennis
I was
ball.
only given tennis balls, and
What are
it
you,
almost
the
broke
baseball?
Heather
Or
DePillow's
chicken
nose.
or chicken.
So-
Play that
Yes,
with racquetball. That was
Man, I
intense.
played that once, and when I was running,
You
I
did.
tripped and cracked my head on the pavement,
Ooh.
and I was carried out of recess.
Chicken was serious. Was that a
For all I know, this could all be a fever dream since then.
was that
It's true. You're gonna wake up and you're still your zucchini.
Patrick
oven
McGarren, or was
yourself.
that at Round Valley?
What? I didn't go to either of those.
Was that at Bethlehem or the
Yes,
other one?
I went to Hop Pock. That was at
Ethel
Hop Pock.
Hoppa.
Went to
Ethel
Hot
Hoppa.
Pocket?
Thank
That's right.
you.
Hop Pocket University.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got my degree in cheese.
I mean, I think it's obvious by
Pocket,
looking at me that I went to Hop
I have a
Pocket
major
University.
in
Hop Pock,
cheese and
and what was
minor in
what was the other
pepperoni.
one?
Conley.
Conley was the one that
Conley,
was built like a church.
Hop Pock. Yes, I always thought that. Yes.
Yep, that's where I used to play
And we
soccer,
also
and
had to
Hop
play
Pock is
there
where I
every
play
day.
basketball.
Steel Diver says probably pick up
Wow.
one of the Breath of the Wild themes. God, I just want the Switch. And why did it take Wii U? Why did it take the Wii U to die to get Virtual Console releases weekly?
I know.
I don't know, man.
We got
Sacrifices
weekly
have to be
VCs.
made.
All right, so here's the big leak that happened yesterday.
Lay it on me, Captain.
Somebody that purchased a Switch. They didn't say where they purchased it
Off the
from,
back of a truck.
but they got it early. The retailer accidentally sent it to them.
See,
So-
you know someone at Walmart like effed up.
So, he won't say where because he doesn't want to get the retailer in trouble. Lube? Yeah. He doesn't want to get the retailer in trouble. But here's the thing. So he has this system, but obviously he doesn't have any games because they didn't send the games.
So he's just been like hugging it real tight.
So he's been taking pictures of the system, and he's also been showing off the user interface and the menus and all that stuff because we haven't seen any of that. So if you want to see the menus and you want to see the settings and you want to see the startup and all that stuff, he's taking pictures and footage of all of that.
You blew it.
And there's some pretty cool stuff in there to see. So I know some people consider this spoiler territory. So if you want the initiation process of setting up the Wii or the Switch to be a new experience and stay away from all this stuff. The guy's name is Hip Hop the Robot.
That's
so
amazing.
If you see anything related to him, do not look at it because
he is under arrest.
I will say, the user interface of the Switch looks really clean, really slick, and it's very snappy. I really like it a lot. I like it a lot. You know what it looks like? It's very un-Nintendo. That's the impression that I get.
Huh.
Is it more like a PlayStation-y type of look?
No, it's... See, all right, so between Xbox One and PS4.
Okay.
PS4, its user interface is functional. I can get around and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not the prettiest, and I feel like it's a little cluttered. Because it's the cross-media bar. There's a lot of blah, 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 over here, and then it's blah, 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 like a whole, there's a lot to go through. Xbox One, personally, I don't like the user interface at all.
I've seen you be very frustrated by it.
And I'm I've been playing video games for 30 years. I'm not an idiot. I know how to get through menus. I just feel like that's real. Okay. I've been playing video games for 30 years, and I'm also an idiot. But I can't get around. I just feel like you have to do too much.
And I'm a big, hardcore idiot.
I feel like you have to do too much to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
For the Switch, it just looks clean and simple. I'll have to show you the video later. It's very... like a morning dew. Yeah, it's just very user-friendly, I feel like. I don't know. It's nice.
Nintendo Playing Card Company knows how to do it.
Obviously, I need to get hands-on with the system before I can have a final assessment. But from what I've seen, it looks really nice. Okay. CG Sasuke says, so are the ninjas going to show up at GAF and take it away from the person? No, because the person didn't do anything wrong. He's just a regular guy who got a Switch early. It's the retailer's fault, which is why he's not saying
contraband.
Which is why he's not saying
who the
retailer is, because he doesn't want to get in trouble.
You know, somebody that he knew who worked at a place got that early and was like,
fell off the truck.
Because everybody on the internet is a junior detective. They found out a message board post from him months ago where he said what site he was using to pre-order a Switch, and it's one of those now in stock sites. So it has 4 or 5 retailers. So it is legit that he purchased a Switch. We just don't know which retailer he purchased it.
What's the pool potential?
GameStop, Target, Best Buy, Newegg, and another one. And everybody's betting on Newegg being the one that screwed it up. So
yeah.
Is it because they're mail order only?
It's just Newegg does so many different things.
Ship it.
Shrimp
it's not a knock. If it is Newegg, it's not a knock against them. All it takes is the wrong check mark in their computer system, and it just goes out.
I know. I've almost done that when I worked at the Apple store. Somebody almost, I didn't do it personally, but somebody in back of house almost let out a new MacBook when they were not supposed to be sold.
Do you hear that?
The sound of you not caring because you're an a-hole.
Do you hear that?
NPD? Really? Already?
It's NPD time.
I haven't been to an NPD
it's
in
NPD.
a fortnight and a half.
Top 10 software sales, January 2017. This is for the United States. Digital sales are not included. Give me your top 10, everybody. Your guesses.
NBA 2K17.
NBA 2K17 is number 5.
WWE 2K17?
No.
No? All right.
Other things with K and 17.
MLB, the show.
No other Ks. MLB.
The show, yes.
No.
No?
MLB.
Is there a Madden?
MLB. The
Madden NFL 17 is number 7.
Okay. There's always a Madden. There's always a Lighthouse. There's always a Madden.
There's another sport in here.
FIFA?
Curling.
FIFA. Yes. FIFA 17 is in here.
Oh, the other
one. Let me see if you got all the sports. Let me see if you got all the sports. All right, all sports are taken care of.
Okay.
Splatoon.
I'll give you a little bit of time to just guess. Battlefield 1 is number 4. Man, you've gotten 4 of the top 10 so far.
I know.
Bringing in the imported knowledge.
Is Grand Theft Auto 5 still on there?
Grand Theft Auto 5, yes, PS4 and Xbox One version is on there.
Wow.
So,
It's the PC show around here.
You've gotten half the list. by
I
yourself.
know.
This
What's
is amazing.
happening?
I feel like there's still a couple others you could get.
Let me see. Let me channel my chakras. Let's see. What's new? What's new? What's out there? Resident Evil?
Resident Evil is number 1.
Wow.
Resident Evil 7.
PC is
the
pretty
pole position.
cool at this.
Good job. What else is coming out recently?
There's
Final Fantasy 15?
no.
No?
Good guess. Good guess.
30,
Very good
11?
guess. There's one more on here that you should be able to get. Everybody here should be able to get. Everybody here should be able to get. Bro.
Pokemon Moon.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, bro.
All right,
so that's what, 7?
that is number 2.
Call of
No, I
Duty,
mean like
bro.
that's 7 that we've
Infinite
got.
Warfare. You have 7 of them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Resident Evil, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Battlefield, NBA. Okay, you don't have number 6.
Okay.
It's related to Disney.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts?
Very good.
Ooh.
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Yeah, I love how they call it 2.8.
What?
Me and my cousin were talking about this the other
Remember,
day.
if it comes from
can't be
Japan,
3.
it's going to have a weird name. All right, you have Madden. All right, number 8 you don't have.
And this is for last month, right?
This is for January 2017,
Okay.
yes. Okay, this is about, like, being urban and hacking stuff.
Oh, Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2.
And
Number
yeah, what
9
is
is the only one
Jeopardy
you don't
category?
have.
Right?
How
What
can I
came
say?
out last?
I need to think of the opposite of a word.
Okay, that's
An
good.
antonym, if you will.
We're gonna be thinking real hard.
I can't think of, like, one word that's the opposite for this.
February.
I wish I knew the word so I could think of an opposite of it.
I'm trying to think what came out or what's been out.
Under Avert Your Eyes.
Overwatch?
Don't.
Oh
You broke my streak, Kirby!
What's the opposite of watch?
I wanted to
Besides
get at
don't
least
watch.
I was going to say, don't look.
That's fine. I'll
Don't
let you
look.
have it.
Over.
Because I know I'm
Under-
gonna do terrible.
under
with
don't
music
look.
round.
Under avert your eyes.
That-
Wait, how many music guesses did I get last time I was here? Was it like 3? Was it 3 that I
I forget everything about the show once the show's done.
What show?
You got it.
It was
Hello.
either 3 or 4, but that I'm doing good with music and NPD.
Speaking of music,
I gotta hang on
is
to
Mom
these.
Brain okay?
Yeah, she's at a work thing. She
Good.
didn't know she was going to make it or not.
Good, good.
All right, so yeah, that's your top 10 MPD. Then you can also worth pointing out, the NES Classic Edition was the 3rd best-selling console.
Wow.
So Xbox One PS4, Xbox One, NES Classic Edition.
Even
which
though
is
it's like
crazy.
trickling out of production.
Well, when they come out, they get snatched up right
Yeah,
away.
they're,
Guy
they're
Bones.
guaranteed to
Yeah,
be
my
sold,
friend
you
might
know?
get one. And it's
Guy Bones has the
awesome.
first comment, and he says, was hoping to see some Gravity Rush 2. Me too, my friend, but I'm afraid it's too niche. But I would like for it to be there. There's a Switch unboxing video from Hip Hop the Robot if you want to see that. And then finally, today's
Rated
last,
R.
the last top story before the podcast today was a patent that Sony filed in
Oh.
2015
Whoa.
was just published today. And I'd like you guys to take a look at it.
Is it a robot?
It's a vagina you can touch.
Wow.
Wow, that
looks
is
Like a
Switch
Switch.
faster.
Can you detach those controllers? We don't know, but it
probably
certainly
not
looks
Sony.
like a Switch. So like I said, they filed this in 2015. It just got published today. Now, just like with Nintendo, Sony has lots of patents for things that never come to fruition. It's just a patent to protect ideas. So will this happen? Let's say this. If the Switch is a success, then it will happen. Just like the Wii was a success and Sony and Microsoft were like, we got motion too. Connect
Look at
and
us.
magic
Hey, colored
wands.
balls on the tip.
Lollipop controllers. Top rated comment comes from Mr. Rye. And Mr. Rye says, the Vita 2 is destined to succeed and kill the Switch. And he quotes that as a non-existent quote from Colin Moriarty, who is the guy who does Colin Was Right. There's a guy who does a video series called Colin Was Right.
Mhm.
I did a rebuttal video to one of his videos. I have
Colin
nothing
was
against.
wrong.
I have nothing. Lots of people say that. I have nothing against Colin Moriarty. I respect him as a person.
Love him.
Well, he's a Sherlock villain.
it's just
so-
Pretty hot.
I feel like naming your show "Colin Was Right" is a little
pretentious.
Arrogant?
Yeah.
Arrogant.
That's
And
probably the
he
point.
will certainly be right about things. Well, yeah, because it's the internet, so you got to be
Everybody's
Bold.
look at
bold. Yes.
look at America. Just ignore the things you don't like.
Gotta be bold. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And if it's nothing,
Colin's
it's
right,
still all.
Colin's right.
But yeah,
I won.
I have nothing against Colin at all or his show or anything like that. I just
Sounds like you do.
promise I don't.
I mean, you brought
You guys
up-
Swear.
have to fight.
On the Ghost of Buddy the Podcast Dog.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Now you know it's meant seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing against the guy. It's just that's not a name I would ever.
I have nothing against the guy, but I will.
Like, I couldn't-
I will
He's
make
got-
orphans out of his children.
I couldn't do that name. I'd feel like a jerk. I'd be like, I'm not right
Rami
all the
was
time,
right.
or nobody's right all
Yeah,
the
he
time.
was right.
I should change.
I'm
I'm going to change the name of my show to Raw Meat was right sometimes and wrong other times. It rolls off the tongue.
And this week's
Sometimes I'm
execution
right.
of someone who questioned raw meat will be.
Raw Meat sometimes is right.
Rami.
All right, that's
he
all
tries
your
his-
stories.
Rami tries his best. That's the name of it.
That's a great
Raw Meat
name.
tries
Oh
his
my
best.
God, Raw Meat tries his best. That's the great name. You can't get mad at whatever I do because you're gonna be like,
Tries
try.
his best.
I guess
A
he
for
tried his
effort,
best.
once again.
That's good.
And then at the end,
That's what's going to be the
At
comment
the end of every
section.
episode, I go, I tried my best.
and then Mom Ray comes in and gives you 1 gold star. And
Raw
leaves.
Meat tries
Man,
his
I
best.
love that
That'll
name
be your
so
that'll
much.
be your catchphrase at the end of every episode.
I tried
Raw
my
Meat
best.
tries his best.
Like
And
a
there's like
stupid
food all
sitcom
over
jingle.
your shirt. You're like, I don't
Like a
know.
messy baby.
And
And
people
you're,
look at it and you're like,
Right,
did he
try my
really
best.
try his best? It doesn't look like he did.
you're just like unkempt and like
Well,
you just like
tries
can't
his
beat a
best.
level. You just
I mean,
put down the controllers,
his best
look at the
ain't
camera.
much,
I did my
Goodbye,
best.
SC Sekiro. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
We normally talk about what we played now, but first, I believe you have a story to talk about because I'm not letting you off the hook.
Oh, we're circling back
It
around.
may have been told before, and here's why I came up.
Might
Because
not
you
be
said
real.
Crash Bandicoot, and I was semi-paying attention. I was
Is it the guy that says
I was,
just like
I,
Crash
was,
Bandicoot?
I was thinking about the difficult week that I had. It was a tough week.
Okay.
And I was getting my wires crossed. I was thinking of
You crash into a
Rocket
bandicoot.
Knight Adventures.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, they're both
Crash
animals.
Bandicoot, Rocket Knight Adventures.
Yeah.
Very understandable.
Rocket Knight.
Davy Crockett Knight Adventures. Very understandable. So Kirby and I go way back.
Right.
Oh, I
Almost.
believe this story has been told. The written letter.
Right. And Kirby writes
Oh.
when people would write letters
Yes, I
To-
mentioned
Yeah,
this on the
right.
show
to
before.
corporations by
Without
hand
the
and
use of
mail
the
them
internet.
by snail mail, and said,
What is
"Dear,
snail mail?
dear Konami,
Dear-
Konami.
I would,
No, back then I thought it was pronounced Konami.
yeah, dear Konami, I would love for you to release a Rocket Knight game for the system that I own.
Which
Super
is the Super
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Love
yes.
Kirby," and they replied.
They not only replied, they gave me Rocket Knight trading cards.
They not only replied, they not only gave you
They-
trading cards,
they
they,
swiped-
also
they swiped
made
the
a
good
Rocket Knight
direction.
game for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That
the
was
letter said.
you!
Like, we have
But-
that in production.
But we never bought it
yeah, and I don't remember
I
why.
don't know if I heard that part of the story.
because it was
Why?
4 years later. We'd moved on with
Yeah,
Kirby's
that's,
life.
that's probably what happened.
So you've never played Sparkster?
No,
Well, I mean, you told me it wasn't that
It's
good.
not that good, yeah. Rocket Knight Adventures.
we weren't gonna make it. And then some whiny kid was like, "Make it." So
Rocket
we
Knight
made it.
Adventures is one of my favorite Genesis
Tiny
games.
boy.
Now, here's another question. Did you play... Am I losing my mind? They made a new Rocket Knight Adventures.
Did you play Rami Tries His
for
Best?
the 360? Right?
Yes. Did you play that?
Favorite
Yeah,
game.
It was full of
Did
effort.
you like that?
I didn't
So
beat
much
it,
effort.
but I don't know, it was okay.
Okay is how I feel, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what magic happened to make Sparkster or to make a Rocket Knight
Yeah,
Adventures
that's a
as
game
great
I
as
never
it
thought
was.
they would like.
Port
you know,
Reboot?
They
Yeah.
would reboot that. Yeah.
Well, now look at Konami.
I never played any of
They're
them.
like, hey, we ruined Metal Gear, and here's Pachinko.
They ruined
Although they're doing a new
Pachinko.
Bomberman. Yeah, oh, that's what I want to talk about on this podcast.
Pachinko?
So they're doing a new Bomberman, as you guys know, for the Switch. It's called Super Bomberman R. It's a very classic style Bomberman, which I'm totally down with. I like Bomberman a lot. Great multiplayer game. I've played it, really enjoyed what I played. And so Konami owns
I
Bomberman
heard
now because
is a woman now.
they purchased the rights to Hudson's
2017.
stuff. And
Bomb
for this new
Woman.
Bomberman,
It's
I
the current
believe
year.
Nintendo talked to Konami and they were like, hey, Bomberman would make a lot of sense on our new system. Can you guys do a new Bomberman? And Konami was like, yeah, we'll do a new one. And we have some old Hudson developers, so we'll get them back in and they'll make it. So they made it. And that's why it looks like Bomberman and plays like Bomberman. But then we have the new Konami.
Dun dun
And Konami's
dun!
like, we have a new Bomberman coming out. I don't remember what it's called, but Bomberman is a woman. Fine, whatever. I don't care about
Ballerina.
that. It's in the arcades, But here's the best part.
His name.
All of it
Bomber
is
Bitch.
like very like
Is it called Bomber Bitch?
no.
That's what it should
It's very
be.
like anime style, and in
What?
the game,
Like what?
What was your song last week, Robbie? Get your boo.
hold on a second.
Oh.
But here, let me get to the best part. So this Bomberman features a female cast, which is fine. I don't care about it. It's
Chicks ruined
anime
it.
style. But when they get hit by bombs,
Their
their
tits fall off.
clothing blows off.
I knew it.
And I'm like, really, Konami? Really? You're gonna do this to Bomberman? But whatever.
Bomber
Same thing
bitches.
happened to Tom and Jerry. So when they went downhill.
Wasn't there?
When Konami took them?
No.
They started-
When the giant hammers would make them go to sleep instead of.
Wasn't there a Bomberman from a couple years ago that was supposed to be like
Bomberman Zero.
gritty and realistic?
The Bomberman for today's generation of gamer. Yeah, Bomberman looked like a human, and it was like
I don't like it.
So
It's
yeah, they-
creepy.
so they've
I don't
already
like
ruined
that.
it once.
yes. Now if I'm gonna
Bomberman's
go,
addicted to drugs.
now to tell you the truth, if I'm gonna look at
Bomberman's got a
Bomberman
habit.
Zero or this other Bomberman game, Bomberman Zero still offends me more because this new Bomberman is still
At
closer
least you can wank off.
to.
this.
Don't tell me what games I can.
I don't
talk
like humans. I like Bomberman.
I don't do humans.
about. All right, who played something I want to talk about?
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
I have been
Damn.
playing Uncharted 4.
Oh, nice.
Drake's fourth gen.
Oh, that's right. Drake's fourth show.
What's
and-
it called? The Thieves' End? Is that what it's really called?
Thieves End. Yes, that's
The
right.
Thieves' Rear
Sounds
End.
right.
And he's,
I'm
you
enjoying
haven't finished
it.
it yet?
No, I mean,
Can I hear what chapter you're on?
I'm on chapter 11.
Oh, you got a ways to go.
I know. I'm like halfway through because it's like 24 chapters.
Oh, I know what you're
Doesn't that
doing.
mean you filed bankruptcy?
You're
After 11?
replaying. You're replaying chapters so you can hear the voice acting again.
Listen, I flipped my
Enjoy
bean
it.
on my own time. To
She's
Troy
got a thing
Baker.
for
F the B.
Troy Baker. Yes,
Oh,
Troy Baker has a handsome voice
Oh,
and is
he's got a handsome
man.
voice.
I will admit that.
Booker DeWitt. Anyway, so I've been playing that. It's been pretty fun. I've never played an Uncharted game before.
So why not start with the last one?
Well, you know, because it was the bundle for the
Yeah.
PS4, and it was like Uncharted 4,
Plus,
like
you
Call
can
of
get
Duty
the
or
Uncharted
something.
collection for PS4 as well.
Yeah. So I
Play them 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why not go back in time?
Remember, the third one's the worst.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot. I feel like I'm either dumb or it's not very intuitive because I feel like I get lost a lot. Like I feel like I'm driving around in my Jeep, being like, "Where am I supposed to go?"
Oh my God! You know what I love in that game?
And then I instinctively hit a button because I just played BioShock Infinite again right before I started.
When
this.
you're driving around and characters are talking to each other, and you get out of the car, and Nathan's like, "Oh, hold on a second.
I'll be right back.
And
Yeah.
stops the conversation. You go do what you're doing. When he gets back in the car, he's like, "Okay, so anyway," and then they get back into the conversation.
Yeah.
It's a little touch like that I love.
I appreciate it a
Fantastic.
lot. Yeah.
And if you're out there like running around for a while, like Sully will be like, "You get back to that story, Nate," or something like that. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, Sully. I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, I'm fighting, I'm looking for treasure with the guy who landed the plane in the Hudson. But yeah, it's pretty great and I'm enjoying it. So I'm excited to see what happens. Very upset Nathan Drake's not even a real human for me to touch,
Well, he is.
Well, I know.
That guy's great
Yeah,
too.
what's his name? Nolan North?
Nolan North,
Yeah.
another
They're both
voice
kinda
actor that
hot.
Very
appears in a
young
whole
voice.
bunch of games.
Those Drake brothers, let me tell
They
you.
are fantastic voice actors, both
Drake
of them.
Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Some of the best the industry's got, without a doubt.
Yeah, so
And they
that's-
can change their voice so well. You'll
It's
be in some
crazy.
games and I don't even realize it's
I
them.
saw an interview with Nolan North where he was like talking about doing Winnie the Pooh voices for his kids, and he was pretty convincing.
Well, like he was the Penguin in the Batman game,
That's
and I didn't
right.
even know it was him.
I
at
had no
first.
idea.
Was he really?
Yeah, Nolan North is Penguin. How crazy is that? He does such a different sounding voice.
Wow.
He's good, He's a voice actor,
He's a
so
professional.
use that voice. You play anything else?
I replayed BioShock Infinite, which is amazing. So I ended up having to buy the BioShock collection because
pretty good.
what is that?
I'm gonna say something. When you
Oh, okay. So I ended up having to get the BioShock collection. I have started trying to play the original BioShock like 3 times. Like,
Oh, wow.
do Michael try to get me to play it? And I got too scared and I couldn't do it. And
Yeah.
then, because
You
it's
can
so dark and
you can be
weird and
scared.
all the lights were off. And then he scared me and I got freaked out.
Okay.
So, yeah. And now I need to like redo it. I need to actually like play it through because I have it on my phone and I play it every once in a while. But
Bioshock's on the phone.
yeah, you can run and BioShock. It's not like the BioShock,
Like
but it's a really
cellular phone?
Yes, like a cellular telephone, much like this Apple iPhone.
On your
6S.
cellular telephone.
Pretty much anything that has a 64-bit chip in it,
6S
iPhone-wise. Yes.
I had no idea BioShock was on the phone.
Yeah, I think you have to pay for it, but when I was working at Apple, they gave us a code for free, so I have it like in my downloads.
Code is BioShock.
So I gotta do that. I've heard BioShock 2 is terrible.
For free BioShock, put in the code Shadowbot.
I don't know what the general.
Yeah,
I don't know what the general
Shadowbot.
consensus on BioShock 2
I've
is.
heard
2
it's
is-
kind of
That's
polarizing.
what I've heard.
1 and 3.
Well, yeah, BioShock Infinite. I have the biggest lady boner from BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite
It
is
is
great.
like my
Another
it might
game
be my
with great
favorite
story.
video game of all
Great
time.
story.
My
Great
mud
characters.
jeans are
Lots of fun to
tight.
play.
Yeah,
Good game.
it's great. But that's all I've really been playing. And then Let It Die. That's about
Oh
it.
yes.
Let It Die is great, Senpai.
Let It Die just hit 2 million downloads.
I know. Oh my god, Uncle Death is like my. I want to
He's
get like a
the best.
tattoo.
He
of
is the
him.
best. He's
He's
basically he's
Senpai.
a Grim Reaper with like a Spanish accent
But he calls
that
you
rides on a
Senpai.
skateboard. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's oh my
So
god.
he's
Yeah.
like a
Do you
hip-
have it?
He's a
Yeah, I
hip-
have it.
Oh my god, can we show that?
Sure.
He has to play something else first.
Sure.
That's
Old
fine.
shirts.
Yeah, but I just mean I want to just see, hey, I'm
Great
Uncle Death.
impression.
What's going on?
Now you have to play Suda's other games.
I do.
They're all
Yeah,
weird like that.
yeah. We were talking about this.
They're all just as weird.
Is that accurate?
That is Uncle Death, but not as shocked. Usually, he's like running the show
Is he like, call me?
a little bit. I
Either-
tweeted at them,
Is he
and
more
then
like
Uncle
this?
Death liked my tweet.
I was gonna say BioShock.
Oh,
My sister's husband is now playing through all 3 of them as well. Right now.
interesting.
It's
Yeah,
real
I
funny.
needed to play like BioShock Infinite, like 8. I was getting like withdrawals because I hadn't played that game in so long. I was like, I need
Did
it.
either
It's
of you-
Columbia.
Did either of you play anything you want to talk about?
I had a busy week. I didn't really get a chance to play much
That's
during
fine.
the week. But last week when I was here at the Rami Cowboy Emporium of
The Rami
of
Casa.
goods, Rami Casa of goods, played a little Gun Smoke.
That's right. Did
I-
pretty damn good. I'd
yeah,
say.
I mean it's one of those ingrained games, and a little RC Pro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't take this in a negative way because I don't mean it
Oh, I
negatively.
missed you.
But you really do like video games.
I do.
But I feel like it's hard for you to get out of the games you've already played.
Because my time is my time's tight. Time's tight.
But you have to think
Time's
about
like
it.
a
You could
button.
find games that you like as much or even more than the games you've already played a whole bunch.
I can do it. You can do it.
Like you should play A Link Between Worlds because that's a perfect bridge between something you've already played and something new.
I've been playing a lot more. I mean, also retro games that I missed out on because I didn't have
that counts.
I
If
didn't
it's a
have
game you
any.
haven't played, then it's a game
Super
you
C.
haven't
I didn't play through. I'm on like stage 3, which isn't deep in,
played.
but
Jungle.
yes. And I was giving
Super Contra.
Ice Climber a try because I'd never played Ice Climber.
You know, Ice Climber is one of those games where I hate like it. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a bad game, but I can get into it. Like
Yeah, the
I can
jump
have
is
fun with
crazy.
it.
The jump's
Yes,
crazy.
Yes.
But I mean, it's on VC, and I mean not VC. I'm sorry. Not
Mark D.
retro.
Payne, do you have a question you want answered? Because I'll answer a question.
Who is it?
Yeah, we got a weird show today for questions and all that. But if you got something you want answered, go right ahead and ask.
Please ask us things.
Kirby,
like
did
to
you
be
play
asked.
anything?
I just played a little more Fire Emblem
Heroes.
Fate's Birthright.
Oh, Fates. That's right.
That's a lot of
I
words.
forgot you were playing that. Still going well? Do you have any major? Are you playing Permadeath?
Hi.
Yeah.
Have any major losses?
Well,
If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
I did, but I'm. You know what?
He's clearly traumatized. Leave the boy
I
alone.
probably
I can't
can't even
even-
be playing
can't
classic
think.
mode because
Oh, I know what you're getting at
Yeah, I'm
because you
doing-
reset the game.
I'm resetting
I
the same. I'm doing the same thing I did with Awakening.
I got you.
Which-
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine.
Terrible. Straight.
You
terrible.
paid the money. You play it how you want.
Well, it's it's very counterproductive.
You
I
don't
probably
want
shouldn't
to
be
admit to the game that you don't want to play not permadeath mode, but then you just basically play not
I
permadeath
probably
mode
should
anyway.
just start a new game because I'm now I'm obsessing over something really stupid like the I don't like the hair color I picked and I can't change it.
Hey, I can feel this. I feel the same sort of way sometimes. You just get like the look of a character, and you're like, God, this. I don't.
like,
it sucks.
Because
Yeah.
my hair color should match like my siblings' hair color.
That's right. So
What
I
have
really.
you played?
That's it for me.
Thank you. I really haven't been playing anything because I've been so busy.
Playing with your
Thank
Willy?
you.
But I
I'm
did.
playing with your dinghy.
I did play one thing this week, and it leads to a funny story.
pray to the god.
Skinny punks.
Watch your language. Try when they see what I've done to you. Hey, lady, there's a whale on your boat.
So this
Yeah,
week,
free
what
Willy.
night was it?
Rocket Night.
It doesn't matter. One night I was sitting here playing a game, and Kirby came over.
Oh, that was Sunday night.
Oh, that's nice.
And he saw that I was playing a 3DS, but I had in headphones, which I rarely ever have headphones in.
Interesting. Must have
And
been
I
a
saw
rhythm
him
game.
come in,
Was it rhythm?
but yes,
Had to have been.
the game I was playing, which was Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix,
What?
I was in the middle of a song. So I looked up and I acknowledged him, but I couldn't stop because I was playing a rhythm game, and I just had to get to the end of the song. But what he didn't know is he didn't know that I had headphones in because he couldn't see them because my beard covers
Yeah,
it.
I didn't see the earbuds.
So he walked in.
Hey, hold.
Then I finally finished the song and I take the earbuds out. I'm like, "Hey, Kirby, how you doing?" He goes, "I thought you were mad at me," because all he saw was me sitting there, and I just look up at him and go back to playing and don't say a word.
Yeah,
So I thought
Here's what happened. I came through the door and I just go, "Hi,
I didn't hear it.
how are you?"
I didn't
How
know
are
you
you?
did that.
Yeah,
That must have been so
obviously,
awkward.
you couldn't hear me, so I was just like standing there.
So it's like this now, huh?
Hi, how are you?
Like,
How are
I
you?
invite him over, and when he shows up, I'm really mad that he's here.
How are you?
Oh,
I'm like,
I
I'm sorry
invited
I'm
you
early.
over.
That's right, that's true. You showed up early. That was it. I didn't know it wasn't okay to come over early.
I can't believe you're early.
That's fine.
I hate you terribly.
So yeah, because I have been so busy and I haven't been playing anything, I was like, I need to play something, but I can't play something where I need to like sit down and really invest a lot of time. I need something where I can just play it quickly, get in a couple rounds or something. So I had never played Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix, and I had it on my 3DS. I just haven't played it yet. So I started playing that, and it's Rhythm Heaven.
And it's
I love
ruined
those
your
games.
friendships.
Oh my god, those games are so much fun. I just
never
love
played one.
rhythm games. Do you have rhythm?
Zubba 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 zubba. True.
I mean, I've been.
It's not
able-
dancing. It's just button
No, I
presses,
know, but I mean, like, I'm good at Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Does that mean I have rhythm?
No,
Like, I could do.
no, because this is like.
I was
keeping-
really good at that, like, weird hand DDR at the arcade at the mall.
I mean, there's
You were
some
at
of
a
that
rave?
into it, but like,
no, it's like it wasn't.
Rhythm Heaven is more about like,
right?
yeah,
The weird arcade.
Rhythm
thing.
Heaven is more about like keeping with the beat and
Oh, I
stuff
think
like
I can
that.
do that.
It'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I love those games. So what I've played is a ton of fun so far. But I would rather those games be on
Tunsy
consoles rather than portables because I like playing those games with a group of people rather
yeah.
than just playing it by myself. I mean, I love the songs and I love the game, but I wish it was on TV.
Makes sense.
And Mega Mix is a compilation of Rhythm Heaven games. It's like the best of Rhythm Heaven games plus new games. So there's some stuff that was in Rhythm Heaven Fever. Then there's stuff that was in the original Rhythm Heaven, which never came out here, so that's new for us. And then there's new games together as well. It's a lot of fun. I like it.
You'd be really proud of me.
No,
What?
no.
Okay, so I listened to this is a different story. No, it gets to the point though. So I listened to this podcast called The Read, right? And one of the guys that does it is like a huge video game person,
Yeah.
and the other girl that does it with him is kind of like dipping her foot in gaming or whatever. And she was talking about games that she should play, and I recommended Life is Strange, and she went for it, and she loved it.
Man,
So
you're
I'm like-
hitting her hard right off the bat.
Well,
too.
because she was like, I have a couple
Do
options.
you like to cry?
Yeah, I was like, listen, I was like, Life is Strange is really good, but you will definitely rip your hair out or punch your best friend.
Did I ever tell you the story of my cousin that played that game?
I was telling
So-
Drew Michaels about it, and then we were like comparing notes on what we did and what we didn't do.
My cousin, who is, I guess he's 18, gotta be 18. So he played the game.
Uh-huh.
He plays lots of games, but he played that game. And he, I don't want to spoil a game because the whole game is story. So
Yeah.
the ending for him was so devastating. He walked, so in his parents' house, the games are in the basement. He walked upstairs and was like visibly like upset, like, you know, like depressed.
Like more so
Yeah.
than me when I
Well,
did
no,
it.
about the same.
Okay.
And his mom was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Like, what happened? What's wrong?" He's like,
I had to make a tough choice.
"Yeah." He's like, "This video game, the choice you have to make." And she's like, "A video game? You're
Yeah.
crying about
Really?
a video game." He goes, "You cry at movies and TV shows. I had to make decisions in a video game. Yes, it made me cry." And she's
People
like,
lived or
"I just
died.
don't get it." And then his mom was like, "He was depressed for like a week from
Dude.
that." And I'm like, "I know, because I was there too."
Yeah, dude, Rami watched me do it. I literally had to pause the game at the end and take like a 25-minute break where I was literally laying on the couch going, oh my God, what am I gonna
This is
do?
all true.
This is like 100%.
The final decision in the game, she literally paused it for a good 15 minutes and sat there saying, I can't make this decision.
And then it alternated between I can't make this decision and raw meat. Why did you make me play this? Because
But it was the right decision.
I thought it was,
It's a
but
great
I
game.
even I watched the ending and then I watched the alternate ending and I was like, what have I done?
It has some corny writing.
Oh yeah.
It has some, there's a couple missteps in there, but by and large, the game, the experience,
It's so
fantastic.
good. Yeah, it is. I recommend that game to everybody.
Yeah, that is the game for people who don't play games.
Yeah. Oh my, it sucks you right in.
Yeah, and it makes you feel terrible.
What's the? Yeah. Oh god, it's like you feel real great.
Oh,
and
you'll
then you
feel,
wanna
that's
hate
it. You'll
yourself.
feel good for a while, then you're like, no, what?
Just like real
What
life.
am I doing? Yeah, right.
What was that game that everybody's like? It's similar in like the gameplay where you have to make decisions, but everyone's in that cabin and it's like winter.
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
it?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. I wanted to play that too, but then I was worried
Well, I
about
have
getting
it.
too
Well, let's play
Winter's
tonight.
Cabin.
That's a great game to play with a whole group of people because
Winter's
it's like
Cabin
making
2.
fun of a bad movie, but we all make the decisions.
Yes, let's do
I was
it.
there.
Let's have
I
a
was there.
slumber party, y'all. Well, I'm already having a slumber party with raw meat. That's inevitable.
I told you you're going home.
No, I'm not. Not if I refuse to leave your
I
residence.
started your car.
All right.
It's a stick
So
shift. Joke's on you.
for today,
Stick shift.
you know what's sad?
Do you?
When a longtime
Yeah.
podcast listener comes into the
name is
podcast
Stick.
and says, "Oh, sweet, it's
I know you
still
go Stick.
live," and we're just about at the end of the show.
Oh, sorry.
That's pretty cool.
We don't have music today because Mom Brain is not here.
Can I
She
just
didn't-
like do some really
What?
bad
No.
renditions of
She
these
didn't
songs?
know.
Do-do-do-do.
She didn't know if she was going to be able to make it.
General observation from our type. I feel like
Yes,
last
ma'am.
week's music submissions were based on the guesses we made the week before.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Coincidence?
we have a backlog of music. For
The spot.
Last check
spot
we have
and
about-
the Quest
Okay.
64 were both coincidences.
Yeah,
That's
last.
crazy.
Well, to tell you the truth, we talk about Quest 64 a lot in the music section, but nobody ever sends it. Yeah, we have a big backlog of music. But please, I'm glad you said that. Please
Yes.
send in music
We love it.
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Even I
That's
knew that.
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. Send YouTube links. And for Mom Brain's sake, tell us specifically say the name of the game in the system, just because we don't
Narrative
ask her
and
about that stuff.
system. Yeah, we always need clues.
Another game I played. I forgot to mention this.
Yo,
It's a little online whatever game called
Honey Pop.
Lemonade Rage, and it's an 8-bit Beyonce.
Is it about Beyonce? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
saw
you
it.
go through and you smash cars and hydrants and other stuff while like an 8-bit version of like Hold Up by Beyonce plays in the background.
Oh my.
Magical, but it's a really fun game. You can get it like right on your phone. It's like a website,
How do you,
lemonaderage.com.
How do you feel about
Adele winning album of the year.
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
I am livid. What? And to quote Adele, what the F does Beyonce have to do to win album of the year? They give it to
Maybe
Taylor.
she should try singing instead of rapping.
She doesn't rap. Have you even
I
listened to
don't know. I
Beyonce?
don't even know anything
I
about
listen-
Beyonce. It was a joke.
No
Doesn't rap,
joke.
She's a woman.
I listened.
I'm
Get
kidding.
out of this house. I'm done. I almost
Yes,
choked my coworker across the table
Are
because he's
you
trying to.
just throwing away the whole career of Missy Elliott? Because she's a female
Missy
rapper.
Elliott's amazing.
No, so is
She's in that
MC
commercial about cars where they weirdly animate
Remember
her
Katy
yearbook
Perry's
picture.
Super Bowl cameo? They're like, "Who's this new hot rapper?" It's
I
like Katy Perry's gonna take to the top.
They also did that about Paul McCartney and Kanye West because people are dumb. No, but I was very
So
upset. Even Adele was upset about Beyonce not
It's-
winning the
I've heard
Grammy.
she was very
Italy.
Yeah, she was just like,
And
Lemonade
the
was
Grammy
the
goes
album of
to-
my life.
Italy.
And I just think it's a little weird
And the
that
Grammy
Beyonce
goes
has
to
never won
Italy.
album of the year. And like Taylor Swift has won it twice, and Taylor Swift sucks.
Yeah, you know why?
You
Because the people that pick those awards are old stuffy people.
You know
That's
why
all
none
it
of
is.
those people should be
Oh,
upset
now let me
if they
say
don't
this.
win the
I'm
Grammys?
not saying
Because it's a Grammy.
I'm not saying Adele getting the Grammy is bad.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying
If of anyone in that category to get the Grammy, I'm glad it was Adele because Adele is equally talented.
Because
if not a
Adele
little more
is
so
my
than
favorite
Beyonce.
Because Adele is a Spurs fan, and that's my club.
But like,
You're getting Adele.
I am Adele.
Get
was
on that
me.
Saturday Night Live. There's a joke for you.
I had Adele with Windows ME.
You could write like a 15-minute sketch.
Yeah, so I was very upset, and I had to air my distaste. But her performance was amazing considering she's pregnant with twins.
Considering, what do you mean considering? She made that decision.
I know, but I'm just saying she still put on
Fill
a
me
really
with
good
twins.
show. Like I saw her in concert, and
Fill
a
me
lot
with
of her
twins.
Also,
A lot of her
how did
show-
boobs get so shiny?
oils? How do wrestlers'
Her
boobs get so
husband,
shiny?
obviously.
Oils, very precious oils.
Pretty much. She probably
Precious
like
oils.
milks them from a dragon because she's Beyonce and she like lives in a castle
Milk
somewhere.
All right,
The other
since we're actually going to have a
side.
show that manages to hit the 1:30 mark instead of the almost 2-hour mark, which we've been doing lately,
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
we're
It's my
going to end
fault.
it here.
Probably my fault.
It's your fault that we go long.
It's
Beyonce's the best.
It's
End it
Mom
on
Brain's
that.
fault because let me see.
Yeah, it's
I love
amazing that we
Beyonce's
aren't doing
Zelda
questions and we
Carter.
aren't doing music,
It's past Beyonce.
and somehow we're still at 1:30.
Actually,
All right,
it's
guys.
Beyonce.
As I said, Europe has their Switch review units. We don't know when the embargo is up. Maybe we will see some fun stuff this week. That will be exciting.
Beyonce.
What?
I have a good feeling about it.
Guys, less than 2 weeks. Hang in there. I know these last couple weeks are going to be really tough.
Someone buy me a Switch. I'm poor.
Someone buy yourself a Switch because you deserve it.
Treat yourself.
But also treat me to one.
but yeah, that's the show we got for you today. Thanks again
Vlog-worthy.
to those of you who joined us early for this Friday show.
Thank you, appreciate it, love you.
We
Thank
should
you.
be
I'm sorry me and our tape ruined it.
we should be regular next week as far as timing. So we'll see you at 3:15. And that's it. Have a lovely weekend. Play some games. Have some fun. Hang out with friends. And we will see you in 8 days.
Enjoy your
7 days?
President's Day.
8 days. Goodbye, everybody. All right, we got our after show for a couple seconds while this exports.
After the
So if you
show,
have any
it's
questions,
after
feel
show.
free to ask. Mark, I'm not leaving. I'm here. I would never leave you.
I'm here.
Please ask us things. I like answering questions. This is so much more fun than the radio job I have.
Mark
now.
says, please, I
What do they
beg you,
ask you
quit
at the
talking
radio
about
show?
singers and discuss Donkey Kong 64 3DS. Okay,
Do-do,
I've
new
never
discussion.
played it.
That game doesn't exist.
do-do,
Yeah, I was gonna be like, I don't think that's a
Donkey
thing.
Kong 64,
Do-do-do.
I played.
do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do.
I was gonna do
If you're gonna sing music from Donkey Kong 64, there's only one song to do.
Dude, I just did.
Dun-dun-dun. I
The
can't do it.
DK rap is the song that you do.
Can you do the DK rap for us?
He's gonna.
Here we go.
3,
Let's
2,
do,
1.
some finally here to kick
This is the most
some tail.
underwhelming performance I've ever seen in my life.
I don't remember the lyrics.
Do you remember when I beat Donkey Kong Country and I wanted to cry?
Yeah,
You were,
I
you
wanted
were
to cry
playing
too,
my
because it was
you were
one of the
playing my
worst moments of my
system, and
Fuck you!
you were on Minecart Madness for a good afternoon.
I was, but then I played it
Well,
again
yeah,
here.
You had to take a pretty
Yeah.
solid break.
I did. I was getting very mad. You
By
like came
solid
home
break.
and I was like,
But it was totally worth it because one of the developers
yes,
of the game
liked my tweet. That's
liked
my.
your tweet.
yeah.
That's been my
awesome.
pinned tweet for months.
So you know what that means? The next game you have to play is ukulele. When
I
it comes
wanna
out, 'cause
play-
that's
yeah.
narrated by the Donkey
I
Kong
really want to
song.
play ukulele.
Ukulele.
It was.
Okay.
It was 4th of July.
Ukulele.
4th of July,
Right.
2016. I beat Donkey Kong Country, and I'm still proud.
Here's a group for the chat.
Here's a group for the chat.
Here is a group for the
Here's a group for the chat question. The old chap. Where's the pizza? That's the question.
The question is, who want lasagna?
Who want lasagna?
Who want lasagna?
Run, come get your juice.
All right, guys. That's your after show.
I love you so much, everyone.
Again, thanks for joining us on Friday. I appreciate
Love you.
it. Now go have some fun. It's Friday, guys.
Love you, mean it.
Most of you got a 3-day weekend.
And it's
Enjoy
Maybe
it.
it's a freaking
And
weekend.
it's only
back
8.
to have me
It's
some
my 2 dads'
fun.
weekend. Abe,
2 dads of
Abe
America.
and George. Yeah. my 2 dads' weekend.
Goodbye,
Oh,
everybody.
Taco Bell. Bye.